wait. Come on. Wait till see if it gets above this pool of liquidity here. Hey, we're not going through the normal intro tonight. Sorry I'm late. I was trying to get on earlier, but kind of got held up with this Solana trade. Yeah, I wondered how high it was gonna get before we start seeing a retracement. It's probably gonna be around here. Ooh, I don't know. I'm holding though. I'm still holding. This is what I was trying to. I wish it would have let me on earlier, because this is what I was trying to explain. It was kind of come up on a bear shorter block and then come up out of it. Alright. We're at 505. We're still going. Alright. I think we can clear this top here, maybe. That's what it's going to go for. It's going to go for previous highs. So all these previous highs have generally there's a load of buy stops or market buys that are sitting right on the top of those, and what it likes to do is it'll jump right through them and then pull back really quick. Speaking of that, let me go ahead, and it looks like it's starting to sell now. And I'm on the 5-minute chart, by the way, so this is pretty detailed. Once we get down, it could, especially a chart like this, see, it's as soon as it's hitting that, it's getting rejected. This one over here could be a rejection block. It might get through it, because after that you do have a breaker. That's what I think it's probably going to get to before. You have a couple of different breakers. You have this one. And this one formed afterwards. So now we have another 5-minute breaker. Right here, this candle here. Luckily, I only threw in a 0.01. We want to get a feel for it, because I think especially in these situations, especially once they break all the highs, they're going to be collecting all of that liquidity that they've broken through. So either people trying to sell at these areas that think it may be resistance, or people buying thinking they may try to catch a breakout, and neither will really happen. It'll be a short breakout if it is, and then it'll draw back. And so the people that were selling before now are usually chasing it, thinking it's going to break out. and then now we're gonna hit this old 5-minute breaker. Yep, knew it. Hit the old 5-minute breaker, falls back. Hold on, come on, give it one more push. One more push up. Damn it. That's what I wanted to see. There we go. And there we go. Now I can sell. Okay. See, and what people know usually about crypto is, even though I'm using the 5-minute right now, and you know, with Forex and other things like that, a lot of people use the 4-hour. With crypto, the 2-hour, believe it or not, I find to be the most helpful. This is the one that tells the story for me. As to where most others, it's the 4-hour. But the 2-hour for me, for some reason, I can find a lot of stuff in here and be able to read this chart and know what smart money is going to happen, you know, basically going to tell us what's going to happen next. So, I'm trying to get around here. Okay. So it's actually going up into the breaker. Okay. So I think it's definitely going to hit the bottom of this breaker then. Because you have a fair value gap right here to here. So it's hitting a bearish order block right now. Yep. There we go. Bearish order block right there. And let me color that in red so we know that it's bearish. And it went through it. And then right when this breaker starts, it's also at the bottom of another bearish order block. So if it breaks through that one, I'm cutting the small losses that I have and going on. I made a lot from. Yep. Okay. I'm cut. Well, let me wait. It may get to about halfway through and then fall. There we go. Okay, that's halfway through. I may flip to buy, but I doubt it. Nope, not flipping to buy. That was an easy tell for me not to buy. So I got up here. So that was the top of the body of the first bearish on the way down. Now it's gonna act like it's gonna try to keep going up and up because it's gonna try to keep entice more and more buyers, but it's not. I mean, it will entice more buyers. Like right now, people are probably trying to buy it like crazy, thinking it's gonna pump, but it's not. It's not how this algorithm works. Anyways, I am Tyler of Body and Wicks, and we are now checking out Solana. And Solana's been talk of the town lately. I mean, come on, jeez. I was holding the bag. You know, usually when I do I think I said this earlier in one of my earlier videos. When I do my initial investments, it's about $100, no matter what it is. And when I first bought Solana, it was about $16, and I spent $100 on Solana. It was about $16 a coin, and now it's like 100 and almost 150, right at 142. I've taken small profits along the way and put them into other projects, staking projects, but that's it. But it wasn't much. It was enough that was needed for the staking, basically. Yeah, see, told you. Keeps going up, and then as soon as it gets to the top, it'll fall. And so that's, if it gets back up to that top again, I'm probably going to put a lot on that. And then, so... It's not going to drop far, though, and I think that's what people are going to think. People are going to think that since it got up this high, that it's going to have a really far drop. It's not. So don't expect a really, really far drop. Especially now that it's inside of a breaker. To be honest, it could stay inside this breaker. That's also why I'm hesitant to even to sell right now. I want to see, the 5-minute close, look at that, it jumped up. This may be a game changer right here. Cross the line, pull back. Pulling back even more. I want to see how far it got up into this breaker. So if you don't know what a breaker is going to be when you have a down, up, down scenario like we have over here. Your last up candle, the whole candle, stretch that over, that's going to be a breaker. Now watch it hit the top and sell. It may go through it, but generally it pulls back. Don't make me look like a liar today, Solana. It's making me look like a liar today. Wow. The thing is, it's also inside of another order block. I am going to move to a different time, because now if you move to a 15-minute time frame, your breaker can change, you know. So now we can have, well, that's not really a down up, well, yeah, down, then up and down. Yeah, that could be. I mean, you basically have two different breakers here, but this one's going to be the highest. So this is what you'd be looking for, would be that right there. That's a huge breaker. I don't even know if they'd call that a breaker. It's a big range, basically, for price to play in. So... So what I think it's probably going to do, yeah, double the breaker and then maybe pull back. I think it's going to give it one more run here in a second. Where are we at? 519. See, here we go. It always comes at the end of the New York stock day too. Always comes in at the end of the New York stock day. Right around 3 o'clock, you'll see a lot of activity happening. And don't think just because it broke that high that it's going to bounce off that high and stay above it. No. It's going to pull back down further. Look, it made a big gap down here. It's going to pull back down. Because you also got to look over here too. People don't see it, but it's running into this. This probably comes in the form. I don't know if this comes in the form of 4 hour, but definitely an hour. Hour-long breaker, or not breaker, but a bearish order block. So that's at the bottom. I mean, look at that bottom of that candle. That is solid. That's a solid green candle. So that whenever you see a candle that's as solid as that at the bottom, that tells you that that was prepared by an institution. Because I mean, come on, think about it. If everything is buying and selling as much as it is, that thing should have a huge wick on it, shouldn't it? But no, as soon as it switches over to, what time is that? 4:45. You're telling me that everybody 4:45 in the morning here is, well, not here. I mean, that technically that's what, like 7 in the morning, something like that for England, maybe. Let's see, 6 hours for more like 10, something like that. But still, tell me everybody around the world bought at that exact same time and did not allow it to drop back one bit. Don't think that's the case. Sorry. Now, what's interesting is that, this one made it up and through. This one didn't hit the same spot. And as this one fell down, this one came up and made through. And these two hit this bearish order block up here. Oh my God, this is, never mind. I am proven wrong today. But it hit the, okay, it's at the bodies of the candles. It's respecting the bodies of the candles, which is also the top of this here. So this should be a rejection block. 100% should be a rejection block. We I mean, it can get higher, but we shouldn't see it close above that anymore. Paying so much attention to this, I forgot about Ethereum that I'm also in a trade in, but I think we're doing okay in that one. Yeah, we're doing okay in that one. And we're doing okay in this one too. The fact that this one just ran through. Well, 5-minute breakers really, I mean, aren't going to be a huge deal maker, but they can persuade price. But a 15-minute breaker. So what we're probably going to see now is, now that we've hit the rejection block, we've already hit this order block. The thing is, it's probably going to stay within this breaker, and now we're going to see a retraction. But the next time it pulls up, it's gonna pull up and go out, and that'll be its next target right there. Before it hits the orange line, because that'll be the next bearish order block. So let me change this here. Green. Text and put target. Let's save that. And then let's just go ahead and make this red. Negative OB. Because what you gotta think is that whenever that made that jump from this body to this body, we have a huge. That's a huge. I mean, even though the wicks are still there, still doesn't matter. That's a huge volume imbalance that it has to come back and cover. So it's gonna come back. So that's why I'm not worried about. Whenever it got to the top just then, and I just sold a bunch. The question is, how far is it going to come back? I think it's honestly going to come back all the way down to the bottom of this breaker. And it's probably going to take about 2 hours to do it. And then after it touches, it could take 3 hours, to be honest. It could take 3 hours. And then the last hour, it could take off. But I do not see this thing getting any higher than what it's already been. And I'm wearing a wig in case you didn't know. Why I'm wearing a wig? I don't know. My friend's girlfriend came over wearing a wig. So I just put it on. Like, whatever. I'll get lice and deal with it later. See, it's still trying to get people to buy. See, this is I love it. I love it. Let me see. Right now, it is literally at 50. We're over 60% people buying on KuCoin right now. What a bunch of idiots. I'm sorry for people that are buying right now, but you shouldn't be buying. Whenever you see it run through that much stuff and also still have a volume imbalance. Better to think twice. Here, I'm still in 15. All right, let's get back to the 5. So I want to see if there's anything special here. Okay, it came down, it rebalanced. This would be a good time for it to jump back up. But I think it's already done that. So that's why it's going to start falling now. It'll probably get about halfway down this bearish candle, or this bullish candle here, this green one. And then maybe start to pull back up again. So let's measure that half. It's there now, isn't it? Went past it. No, yeah, it's at 62 now. And it's going lower. Now let me check to see. Yeah. Now people are switching their positions. Yeah, I should have done it a long time ago when I told you to. Because now I didn't see this imbalance in here. It has to fill this. Just because there's I mean, that's a price void. There's no price there whatsoever. So it's got to get through that. It'll probably bounce off the top of it, to be honest, and then come back up, bounce off the top of here, and then go back down. Or it could just run right through it. Yep. Looks like it just decided to run right through it. So screw you. I ain't taking your crap. See, it got to the bottom of that 5-minute breaker I was talking about. All it's going to do is get to the top of the breaker and then drop again. Oh, maybe get a little bit higher. The thing is, I mean, this thing could be extremely bullish. It really could be. I mean, it has been. Don't get me wrong. But you have fair value gap here. Yeah, let me do 15 instead. 15 will make more sense. Within 15 minutes, you basically had price go from here to here. So here is a 15-minute fair value gap. Let me get rid of this Fibonacci here. 'Cause I ain't doing nobody good. This is a fake out. Don't fall for it. I want it to get to the top of that box. Where did it get to? here. Nope. Barely just above the red body. I'm gonna get rid of this other Fibonacci as well, so we can see a little bit clearer. See, and now I'm just waiting on it to fall. It's going to. It's back down to the opening of the old 15-minute marker. I mean, that lightning strike quick down to the bottom of that 5-minute breaker and back up. Man, I wish I would have thought to bought that. That would have been a good buy instead of waiting for it to get to the top of the sell. Well, I want to see what it does when it gets back to this guy right here. Because it's wanting to bounce off of it. So it came down, it cleared that. I mean, I knew it would. Yeah. I still think it's trying to get people to buy. And I still think it's going to sell. I mean, it's just too big of an area for it not to fall back into. And for it to, I don't know though. I mean, that is something you want. I mean, technically, if it just falls back into that fair value gap that much and keeps rising higher, that's almost kind of textbook what you want to see in a bullish example. But like I said, 3 breakers, 3 highs. That's, I mean, it's destroying liquidity a lot, but then that's the whole point, is it's driving people to buy it, right? It's driving people to buy it. And at the last second, maybe not the last second, but I'm going to say probably about 5:45, it's probably going to be, it can probably get up to this red line here. Let's pull this down a little bit more even. And then that's going to be it. And then it's going to go down. And while we're waiting on this, I'm gonna take my face off so you guys can watch the what's going on in the chart instead of this weird ugly wig. No, I mean, I'm still here. You just can't see me. So, all right. Here we go. Nope, not fighting anymore. All right, I'll make it back into the 5 minute. Well, before I get back into the 5 minute, let me look back here. And I want to see if there's any kind of confluence with the body of this candle here. What just happened? I thought it was gonna... I need to keep looking at this though. What's the mark price on this? 143,827. Yeah. Evidently the futures is not nearly what the actual price is. Alright, it's about 540. Let me see if in a few more minutes it's gonna... No, it's falling. To me, interesting to see if this is actually a support area. That's what I'm interested to see. So far, it's really not. It's kind of in between. Yeah, it's falling. Look. Ooh. Pulls up a little bit more. I'm gonna see it get up a little bit more. 745. Pulled up just then. Yeah, pulled up just. Yeah, pulled up. Keeps pulling up. There we go. And KuCoin is still going 70, almost 70% long versus 30 to 40% short. Come on, guys. You're smarter than this. I mean, I know there's breakers and all, but generally when there's volatility, breakers really aren't a factor. I mean, the first one was for sure. This is the bottom of it. And it was also a fair value gap. Well, void anyway. See, there's another void. It'll probably pull back up really quick to unclose that one. Can you hear me? Yeah, you can hear me. I want to get you. Let me turn this down a little bit. It's like making the whole thing red. Okay, there we go. I'm a loud talker anyway, so. Okay, there we go, 545. After this, it's probably going to pull up, actually. Now 546. Nope, well, went lower. Wow, a lot lower. Man, it wants to stay at that. That 5-minute breaker, doesn't it? It doesn't want to close below that, huh? Looks like it's going to. So I got 13 minutes left in the hour. I think I might try to buy one more time. Get people to chase it, and that'll at my time it's 5:48. 6 o'clock. Boom, drop. Man, maybe not. Maybe it really wants to go low. That generally probably gonna at least get to that 50% mark I drew, about halfway between the that big bullish candle there. And also, if you look at that, the 50%, if you look straight across, it's right at the top, this guy here. So this would be your bear or bullish breaker. So actually, let me draw that out too. Jeez, draw all these breakers out. I'm not clicking. There we go. Okay. Any changes in a different color, so we're not confused about what's going on here. Style, let's just go with the green outline and purple inside. Oh, green outline, purple inside. There we go. Something bullish, I want to have that. Where's my Red Bull? Okay. Got down to the bottom of that 5-minute breaker again. There's a different 5-minute breaker. That was from this guy over here. Or no, not that guy. Oh, that's the old one. But it comes down, it closes in the fair value gap. But now we have an open one here. We have an open one here, all the way down until about the 50%. That's why I really think it's going to get down to about the 50%. I don't think this right here is support. If we draw a good Fibonacci, a wave Fibonacci, I'm going to pull this down to here. Alright, I'm going to pull this one up to the top. Let's see what we're looking at when we do that. And it says YouTube is not receiving enough. I don't know what you want from me, YouTube. I'm streaming at 750 kbps like you asked me to. I have nothing else running. I love yelling at YouTube. It's like an inanimate object. It's like a wife you never had. Except for you can't throw her out. Okay. I want to see what happens. Well, right now, I know it's covered and all this stuff, and you guys can't even see what's going on. That right there should have caused a negative breaker. This little piece right here. But it's pulling back up into, no, okay, great, that's awesome. Pulling back up into this breaker, or this fair value gap. what I'm thinking, it's probably going to touch the top and then come back down. Or maybe not. You know, we still got 5 minutes for 11. I forgot about that. So it's probably going to make a run for it. It's still got 2 gaps to close up here. And that would be, and that last gap would be your negative, your bearish order block as well. So I don't see why in the next 5 minutes this thing could run all the way up to this orange line. But it didn't though. It fell pretty. Man, these charts are weird today. It fell back to the opening of that liquidity void. Oh, hey Evan, what's up, man? I don't think you're watching anymore. There it goes. What? Yeah. It's like, maybe. Yeah, run up to here. Oh. It looks like that. Let me look at that on an hour. Whew. That is one giant wick on an hour. That's why I think it may close above this. Yeah, I think it may close above here. At least some of these 5-minute breakers. Maybe not. At least this one though, where the liquidity void was. Maybe not. Oh, well, it just fell really quick and it came back up. If it actually closes in this liquidity void, that's going to be interesting. Two minutes left. Let's see what happens. We're back in the 5-minute. It closes below it. It's going to close below it, it looks like. If it drops below that candle, we're going to see some bearish action. I got 559 on my end still. It looks like it's like that last 5 minutes was just to cover that gap. Make sure it was covered. Maybe not. Well, I don't know. It closed. Alright, we're moving on to the next hour. And it jumped up. Let's see what the 2 hour on this looks like right now. Yeah, see, it's way down here on the 1 hour. That's why I don't think it's going to break it. Whenever I think it's going to break it at 8 o'clock. Or, I guess 9 o'clock would be you Eastern people. Break these highs up here. I don't know, it's looking like it's wanting to run away with it. Alright, let's go 15. Alright, so the 15 left another void, came back down into it. This is where it drops down. Almost to the 50 of that bearish order block. Or bullish. Or no, that's not it. That's the very top part of it. You just want to stay above that void. It's weird. But it's not wanting to get out of this 5-minute breaker up here either. Alright, now let's go negative. I think I'm going to hold to my story. I think it's going to come all the way back down to this bearish order block eventually. It's probably going to take a while to get down here. Which is this candle here, this 645 candles high. Probably what it comes down close touching. Or this guy here too. Somewhere in this area where it's going to come down to, and it's going to come back. Because you got to think price, price does two things, right? Price looks to seek liquidity, right, which is what it did here. I mean, anybody that was short in any of these below, probably like it. This is what did it. This is probably the catalyst that did it. You see, oops, kind of moved out on accident. You see this here, that was definitely a bearish breaker. So it comes up here, hits this bearish breaker and starts retracing backwards. and then it comes up to it again, boom, hits it, pulls back. Now everybody thinks that it's definitely resistance, and then as soon as it pulled back just far enough, woo, it took off. I guarantee you there was a ton of people selling right in here. A lot of people selling right in there. And so, smart money probably knew it too. Of course they knew it. That's what they do. That's what the banks and institutions do. They take your money. The only thing is that there's not too many banks in cryptos, but there are institutions. There are institutions that are big enough like banks that will trade like banks. And they're good. I would claim this as a breaker. Actually, no, it's not. Not at all. Even though it looks like it's the last up candle. I mean, well, it is the last up candle before it goes down. A breaker, it usually has to run that price. This didn't run that price. This went below that price, came back up, went below that price, came back up, went below that price. It didn't run that price, so that's definitely not a breaker. Okay. Keeps getting close to that 50% of that whole bullish 15-minute move. Or actually hour move, wasn't it? Yeah, hour move. See, that's why I don't think it's going to move up yet. Because smart money people, whenever they want to buy at a big discount. 50% is not a big discount for them. 61 is. I mean, and look at this. They're almost sitting on top of each other. Except for the 61. That's about the only one that's not. 70's pretty much right there with that bullish breaker, and then let's see, let's go back into the 5. Yeah, even though it was a bullish breaker at the time, it turned into a bearish breaker at the time. Now candles have went above it, it's turned into a bullish breaker. So yeah, I'm gonna guess anywhere in between there. But comes up, hits the top of that green line of that 5-minute breaker. This one way back here. This guy hits the top of this guy, bottom of this guy. So I guess technically this is also a bearish order block as well. And let's turn that red. But generally when order blocks used up once, they're exhausted. So now price will probably just kind of move freely around that area. But it's gonna get some people to try to buy too early. Like right now, thinking that it's gonna go up, but it's not. It's got to get below the 61. There's 61.8. And that would make perfect sense if it got below that, because especially in the 5 minute, you have this 5 minute fair value gap. And for it to not even touch down and close the 50 yet, I'm not believing it's breaking any highs right now until it comes down here. It'll probably get close. At the top of that one right now. Oh, missed it. Did it just jump over that on that 610 close? It did. Look at that. Another liquidity void. Looks like it's going to come down and close it now. Maybe not. It closed this one. Yeah, well, close this one. Well, no. That was the first time. It's got to do it again. This will be it right here. This halfway through. You see all these lined it perfectly together. Right, that median of those two candles, the bullish and the bearish candle. It's probably where the high, I think it's going to be the high before it starts breaking highs. That'll be the high before it gets down into this area down here, and then actually makes a run for it. So let me make a marker of that. Or actually, let me do a Fibonacci first. And this is just part of the interbank delivery algorithm is what it is called. Once you see it happen enough, you realize it's true. That price is not random. Price is nowhere near random. Oh shit. Comes up, touches the top of this again. Oh, yeah, it's intact. Okay, so now make this guy. The magnet. Price is at 143,876. Oh, that's right on it. Let's go ahead and change up, just make it a neutral, gray, not so thick, a little bit thicker. And that's what I'm going to put here. Is a median. It's going to want to reject off the top of that purple line. Watch this. If not, it's going to run right through it. Well, so it came down, right, closed, so it rebalanced basically. And this thing has already been down to the bottom here. And closed in this fair value gap. It makes me wonder if it is done down here. Let's move that. There we go. See, but it doesn't want to get. Well, see. Oh, I spoke too soon. Doesn't seem like it wants to get out of that breaker. It'll break out, but like I said, I think it's going to hit this median and drop. There it is. Boom. Called it. Called it. And actually, that was the median of the green candle. Oh, it's going higher though. All right. I want to see if it crosses. Crosses the bodies. This horizontal line here. This gold line. Because I think if it does, then it does have a good chance at actually running. And I missed my opportunity to buy down there. Alright, if it's... So 7 o'clock is going to close the 4. 7 o'clock for me is going to close the 4 hour, right? So I got to wake up to here. I think previous wicks have come up into that liquidity void. I think it's looking bullish. This is a tough one. This is a tough one to call. Just because there's so many breakers. And I marked out all the highs. So here's a high, here's a high, here's a high. So it ran through all these highs, taking all the liquidity. And what I mean by liquidity is that there were probably so many people. Let's see what time I'm at. Jesus Christ. I've been on for an hour already. An hour and 20 minutes. I'll shut up in about 10 minutes, okay? And then we'll go over Ethereum. Yeah, look at that. So there was all these highs, and there was, geez, how big is this? That's a big old 750 pips. Wow. So at each one of these, there's probably somebody with some futures doing something like this. You know, well, you know, if it's gonna break this guy, you know, it can't break that high, and then it's gonna fall. And then you have the people also on the opposite end of the spectrum who were trying to catch breakouts. And there are long positions here. So say they have a long position here. And of course, pull is all the way back up. They both almost kind of have like the same stop loss. I'm sure there was people like that. And so this guy was saying, okay, breaks this, right? And it pulls back, and then it takes off. So he was probably thinking this, here, and then gone. But I don't know why people think like that, because this is what happens. They break the highs and then they hang around them, especially at the day's end. Especially at the day's end. It is at that 5-minute breaker now. Ooh, I don't know. It just made a bearish kind of structure. See if it's going to pull back up or not. I know it's hitting. Oh, but there's all these equal lows though. It comes back up, hits underneath here, and this would be also a bearish. Well, it broke down. I mean, we'll have to see if it closes below it. Yeah, I'm gonna find my Red Bull really quick. I'll be right back. Actually, you know what? Let's just conclude this because it should be the end of it. So, what I think is going to happen is what is looking like is going to happen. So, all right, we have equal lows here. This is what I see. I see these equal lows here. This tells me that people think that this is going to be some kind of and you know, it is at the bottom of that 5-minute breaker, so it is possible that it could be some kind of support. However, I'm not believing it. I need to move that. Why am I moving things? I think it's gonna come all the way back down to this line right here. Let me look over here. I mean, for this, it hasn't even hit this bearish order block or bear bullish breaker yet. It got close. I mean, it filled in the fair value gap, but if it came down and it hit this green line that I have drawn, which is at 142.06. Man, but you're just below the 50. You're halfway between a fair value gap on a 5-minute chart, that is. If we are on a 30, I mean, if we're on a 30-minute chart, that same box, that 62% comes almost about halfway to. So I still think we got a ways to come down. I think it's tricking people to pull it up, and then probably next 20-30 minutes or so this thing's going to come down, or it's going to come down soon, and then before 7 o'clock it's going to pull back up. But my name is Ted, and I shall see you guys later, and after that we will be talking about we can talk about Bitcoin. It's getting upwards, about ready to close in on the monthly fair it closed in on the monthly fair value gap already, and then I think this one was a weekly, if I'm not for sure, that overlapped it. So we'll be talking about that one in a little bit. DOT is about halfway through its daily fair value gap, which means it's going to start pulling back soon. Yep. But I mean, its bullishness is going to come from here. All these red candles going down. And last but not least, I mean, we don't have to talk about that, but USD, Ethereum. Look at this guy. This guy is just having a day. Ran up, broke through. What do you break through? 4-hour fair value gap. Yeah, broke through a 4-hour fair value gap. Looks like hit probably the bottom of the bearish order block. Pretty much. Pulled back down, right down to 70.5. These are all, and this is 4 hours, so we all knew this was happening. And today, it just continues to go up. It's pulling back now. Let me see where it's at. So we just give a little teaser before I go. Oh, let's see if it's gonna act strong or gonna act weak. Gets pulled up into the fair value gap, pulled up into the fair value gap again. So I have a feeling it's gonna hit, boom, this guy right here, your bullish order block, and then it'll turn around and keep going back up. I mean, I'm looking below here. I don't see any reason for this to keep going down. Looks like everything is balanced. And we have equal highs. Look at this. Equal highs right here, right into the median of a bearish order block. So we shall see what happens in just about, I don't know, I'll try to come back at 7. How about that? All right. See you guys later. And just remember to wear your pants. Wow, that was loud. Wear your pants.